The Hundred Beasts Kaido, king of the Animal Kingdom pirates, one of the Yonko, former apprentice of the mysterious and infamous Rocks crew, the one whose neck was too thick for the Karoseki guillotine. Now, the lore surrounding him has been expanded in one way, especially with that review or him referencing how Luffy could not be Joyboy. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about this, how Kaido knows about the Void Century and other pieces of information that he may have, right? And that may also include Big Mom, because we know that, well, we don't know, but we assume that they've been sharing information, right, in the same way. Or that they've been arriving at the same conclusion in terms of what they were getting about the One Piece world, right? From the underworld, with Big Mom and the information network. So the question that came to mind in that chapter where he says Luffy could not be Joyboy and all that was how he knew this information. This could be revealed in a flashback, which I sense with my keen observation Haki coming very soon, probably within the next 10 chapters. And you know what else you can sense with your observation Haki? That subscribe button. You might actually access Karaku's observation Haki, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Okay, now back to the video. This is something I wanted to be revealed, especially because Kaido wants Robin for him and Big Mom to get the ancient weapons to conquer the world and then become king and queen of the pirates. How they know that as well, I think, is as a result of them being on the Rocks pirates, to where obviously for a pirate crew that big, they should have had someone or some way of perceiving or interpreting the poneglyphs. This could be how Zebek knew about God Valley. This island that was supposed to be, or at least supposedly, a secret paradise for celestial dragons where there were a lot of slaves, right? I think it's possible that they got there using a poneglyph, or specifically a poneglyph that referred them to another poneglyph that was in God Valley. Either way, I think they had a person to relay this sort of information of the ancient text, right? It's possible that it could have been Zebek himself, maybe using the voice of all things. Somehow he was actually taught a way to decipher the poneglyphs. Or it was just another crew member that could do the same thing. But I would prefer if it was Zebek, because then that means we would be certain that that individual is not alive, he's dead, right? But it's also possible that if it wasn't Zebek, the person was probably punched by Garp or something, right? And then they died, or they died sometime later after God Valley. I think this would make more sense in terms of what's happening now, as Kaido and Big Mom are relying on other people like Pudding and Robin, which means that that individual would be dead. Otherwise, Big Mom and Kaido would be looking for them. So maybe all this information that Kaido possesses is just from him hearing all this from the era of Rocks, right, as his apprentice. This would mean Kaido was just now focusing on accumulating power and gaining influence. Another possible explanation is that instead of the information having come from his time during the Rocks Pirates, it could be that he found this out himself during his own adventure, right? His journey being a pirate. But now comes a question: how would he have been able to find this information? Because as far as we know, neither him nor Big Mom had a way of deciphering poneglyphs, right? And if he did, then why wouldn't he just refer to them, right? Now that they needed the most, right, we would have to consider that Kaido may be hiding this individual from Big Mom and just playing dumb. Because of personal interest, maybe he wants the helm at the top for himself. So the only thing that came to mind was rumors. We know how information spreads like wildfire in the One Piece world, right? Especially with how the brokers be holding live streams of atrocities that occur around the world that they had a hand in, right? And we have Big Mom with the biggest information network besides the world government. And we see how quickly she gets information. And we also see Crocodile as well. He relied heavily on rumors, but for the most part, he had Robin. This is information. This is why information networks are very important to where maybe Kaido knew about Joyboy through these information networks or rumors, right? And the last thing I wanted to consider was Odin. Not particularly his logbook, to where maybe Kaido knows Joyboy and so on from the logbooks, to where maybe he read it before Yamato, or maybe he had one of his spies read the logbook and catch Yamato off guard, which I don't think is likely. However, back then, it seems to me that Kaido already knew about the ancient history. I say this because of how his character had not changed, or how he talked to Odin and the way he held him in a certain regard with respect. We see the same thing with Luffy as well, right before he says, "It looks like you couldn't be Joyboy either." This implies that Kaido has been testing individuals, trying to find this Joyboy maybe in the people he respected. He cried for Whitebeard. It's possible that he thought that Whitebeard could have been Joyboy, one of the sovereigns, right? So we see that Kaido, he does this with people he deemed worthy through their strength, right? But the main question here, I think, with all things considered, is what will Kaido do with this Joyboy once he finds him?